Guys, we are live. We got Sinfuls on here. Prairie Mark from Cedar Falls, Iowa. How you doing, Prairie Mark? What's going on? We haven't seen you on here in a while. Who else we got on here? We got like 3 people on here, but I'm sure that will go up really fast. I had a pretty good week this week. I got to go up to the embassy this week, which we talked about a little bit on some of my other videos. But I get to meet the ambassador. I got to talk to a lot of people up there, people from the Elks, people that are good for us to have as a channel and to have as expats. Some of them from the people from the Elks were there. A lot of these people are becoming CLVs, or citizen liaison volunteers, and it's kind of interesting meeting these people because they're all really good people, and they want to help expats, but they also want to help veterans over here. And a lot of people think that we don't have any help if something happens and we're down and out or homeless as a veteran in the Philippines, and we do have a lot of help. They'll give us a repatriation loan at the embassy. We can get help as far as housing for a while, maybe a little money for food, things like that. There's a lot out there. I just want to put that out there for you guys, that if you ever need that help, I have the linkage now to get to those people and to call those people. So if you ever need that, let's see. We got Sinfuls on here. We got Joe Grudsa from Lubbock. We got Stanley Wolk on here. Tyrone Carson. Thomas Robson, good evening. Joseph Grutza again. Hello, Sinfuls. Yeah, Joe. We just got to get that Wi-Fi. We have to get a Wi-Fi situation taken care of. Once we get that taken care of, we can try to get those rentals. I'm talking to the guy tomorrow, hopefully, if I can catch him, and then hopefully we can get that taken care of. He'll talk to the persons that are stopping the Wi-Fi from coming in here, because they got to get Wi-Fi in here. We have to be able to have Wi-Fi, and by them blocking the Wi-Fi here, it makes it impossible for anybody to rent those apartments that needs Wi-Fi. Here we go. Tom's away. Hey, checking in from Istanbul. There we go. Who else we got on here? Let's get some questions going. We already got 16 people on here. 2 thumbs up. We can talk about anything this week except for politics. That's one of the things we try to stay off of on here. It always gets people aggravated and, unsubscribing and everything else. Simple says, hi, Thomas. Hi, Tom's. LOL. I've been practicing. Just got another harmonica here. It's kind of a nice one too. It's actually called an Amazing 20 Deluxe, and it's put out by a Chinese place, or Hong Kong. I'm not sure if it's I think it's Hong Kong. And it's Kong Sheng, and this is Kong Sheng. It's a nice harmonica. And then I was practicing with one of the guys on this here. You can see I'll show you guys so you guys can see this. These are all harmonicas, and as you can see, they got letters on them. Those are all the keys that they come in. A lot of people don't know that harmonicas come in all those different keys. Let's see. Mr. Slick66 says, what's up, Steve? Good evening. Report this morning. Hottest July in U.S. That's crazy. Simple as I did a 300-kilometer ride today. I woke at 3:30 a.m. That's a long ride, man. I don't know if I'd want to be doing that on a motorcycle, of all things. Joseph Grutza, how do you spell the name of the city? It's Tracy, Trece, Martires, Martires. Sinfuls can spell it out on here too if he wants to, so you can see it. But it's Tracy Martires is a beautiful town. Joe, if we can't get you into one of those places, we can probably get you into another place or help you find one when you get here if you want to. Okay. But I'd like to get you in the cheap apartments here if we can get the Wi-Fi. If we can't get the Wi-Fi, it's not going to be any good for anybody to live there. You can have all the electricity and water and AC in the world, but if you got nothing to do on the computer and you can't pay your bills on there, it's not going to be of any use to live there. That's why I'm going to talk to the guy tomorrow and tell him he has a big issue, and that's the issue. Who else we got on here? So we got about 20 people, 4 thumbs up so far, so that's good. But for any of you guys that are looking for $80 I mean, they're not even 80. They're like 60 or 65, I think he told me. Um, they're studios and one bedrooms. They're kind of small, but for a place to just hang your hat and just, you don't do much there. Most of the time, we always hang out over my house and stuff like that. Some of the guys do. Um, Gen Geo, Philippine Journey, great video on being respectful at the VA and Social Security. If people are going to act like an idiot, go back to America and be an idiot. That's the way I feel. I had somebody like putting down me and my girlfriend, and he does it all the time. And I take him off, and he comes back on. He goes by Fred and Barney, or Fred and Wilmer, or something like that. And I know who it is because he looks like Fred Flintstone, and I think he thinks he's funny. But when you're insulting people over here, there's no need that. We all come over here to just enjoy ourselves. We don't need these idiots out there that cause all the grief and everything for everybody. John Babcock, my girlfriend has a relationship that rents out property by you. There you go. Joseph Gressa, well said, Geo. Anders says, thumbs up from Melmo. Tom's away, so your side hustle can be selling Wi-Fi from your place. You want to know something, Tom's? I was actually thinking about putting in Starlink here or something like that and giving up mine for somebody else. But if I ever needed a backup, it would be nice to have it. You know what I mean? So, um, but Starlink rarely ever goes down. But it does go down on occasion. Scott Baird, hello from Malongapo. That Fred Flintstone looking guy made fun of Jules. He makes fun of everybody. And I think that, I don't know if you guys have seen it yet. Go on Ryan on Wi-Fi, and the guy uses our voices and stuff like that. And he got me basically calling him out on some things, talking about him, and he put it inside the cartoon that he did. It's like a Family Guy type cartoon. It's really, really good what he does. And he shows what this guy's all about. And he goes around calling everybody a loser, but he doesn't know any. If anybody's, I don't really want to get into it too much about this, but if when you see him, you'll know what I'm talking about. And it's kind of sad. But anyway, we got 27 people on here, 11 thumbs up. If you guys get a chance, especially for the guys that live in the Philippines, even if you live outside the Philippines, go check out Ryan on Wi-Fi some night. It's all one word, and he does cartoons. Some of them are really good, and others are kind of okay. But the last one that he did, I thought was pretty good. So, see, Lazy Larry's on board. Hello, Steve. Let's see who else we got on here. See, I was talking to a lot of people this week on a lot of people are coming over here, man, and we have some people that are asking a lot of questions, and a lot of the stuff is in my videos for you guys. So if you guys are out there and you're watching, check out my videos because we've got 1,500 videos, and I have some people asking 20, 30, 40, 50, even 50 questions, and they write them all down and they put them in a row. And it's like it would take me all afternoon to answer all the questions one by one when we have all the videos out there that you can watch that will help you with all that stuff, you know? Michael L is on board, our moderator, one of the moderators, him and Sinfuls. And Sinfuls put up the YouTube for Ryan on Wi-Fi. That's actually really, really good. He does. I don't know how he does it. If it's a app that he uses or whatever, but it's really, really interesting the way he does it because the characters are dead on. They're dead on the people, the way they look, everything. He's got the glasses down. He's got the hat. He's got it all. Lazy Larry Lee says, Steve, I have already seen all of your videos. Thanks, Larry. I appreciate that. Gen Geo, Philippine Journey, Sinful, is you in Manila too? A lot of people have watched almost all my videos or have let them play in the house or whatever and listen to them. There's a lot of older videos that really have a lot of meat in them, and I tell people go back to those ones because those ones was when I was fairly fresh on all that stuff from memory from coming over here, and now that we're here, we forget about all the old stuff that we did because some things have changed, and I've updated some of those videos. Joseph Grutza, how expensive are most medications like for blood pressure? Cheap. Valcitin, Locitin, all that stuff. I pay almost nothing for those. They're super, super cheap, Joe. Don't even worry about it. I don't know what you take, maybe unless it's an expensive one. There is a blood pressure medicine out there that takes care of your sugar too, you know. Gen Geo, Philippine journey, okay. And Sinful says, I am south of Manila in New Valley. Eng Hubby says, hi, Steve, in Manila at the moment, awaiting my SRRV processing. Traveling down to Tagaytay next week to check it out. That's cool, man. See, I got a lot of people in August that are doing their SRRV, so it's gonna be kind of interesting. Lazy Larry Lee says, Steve, I have been following you more than 3 years. Thanks, Larry. I I know you have, and there's a few other people that have been following me almost since the beginning. There's a couple people that have been with me the whole time that since I started from almost like day one. Robbie Rose, 9:30 p.m. and we're up here in Philippines. Rebels, LOL. Simple says, so today I did a charity ride for a poor community. Steve gave some medications for donation. I want all you to know that. Thanks, Sinfuls. Gen Geo Philippine journey. I'm getting a lot of questions since I just arrived in the Philippines June 8th, so I can also answer most recent things you need to do before coming here permanently. Let's see. SJ's greetings, man. First time watcher, just caught you on my feed. Hoping your journey is in the Philippines, I guess it is, going good. Always going good, man. You know, we've had some rough spots in the past, just like everybody else, but we're doing good here. Um, let's see. SJIN. Sorry, that's okay. Don't worry about it. No problem. Yeah, let's get some conversation going tonight, though. Let's get some stuff going up here. Let's anything you guys need, you new guys need help with or anything like that, just put it up there. We got 32 people, 19 thumbs up. Maybe we'll get some more here soon, hopefully. Um, Scott Beard says, I just watched the Ryan on Wi-Fi. Some of the guys might be over there right now because it's fluctuating up and down the numbers. He did a great job using you and Flintstone. I thought that one was really, really good because it kind of really showed who he is. You know what I mean? And it really reflected on him. Gen Geo Philippine journey. They ran the rain been feeling great last week here in Negros Oriental, Gulinghan City. Yeah, the rain. It's been raining here almost every day, a little bit, and it's been raining probably about maybe anywhere from a quarter to half the time over here. I don't know how it is over where Sinfuls is, but we've been getting rain off and on. Um, and then we're getting a lot of clouds here, so it's not really sunny out. It's actually quite cool out. It's not actually hot out like it usually is, and that the humidity is really high, but it doesn't feel hot. It's a kind of a coolish humidity. Let's see. Joe Grutza, what streaming services are available that will show networks like Fox? You know, Joe, I'm not really sure. I watch bits and pieces of Fox sometimes on YouTube. You know, because they post stuff on there. You can get it probably on one of those sticks that they have. You know, that's probably about the only way that you could get it. Simplest has been raining here every day. Finally had a break today for our ride. But I got rained on 3 kilometers from my house on the home. LOL. Scott Baird, is that a Larry Bird jersey? Yes, it is. It's actually a number 33. So it's got it says Bird right on the back. So when I saw that, I saw it on, was it Timu or Lazada? It was on either Timu or Lazada, and it was so cheap. I said, I'm going to get me one of those. It's probably, it's not really, it's probably a knockoff one, but what the heck? I don't care. I just wear it around the house. It's just nice and cool to wear. So up to 36, 24 thumbs up. Let's see. Lazy Larry says Larry Bird played his college ball in my hometown. And Joe Grutza says, as for the internet, would be able to install Starlink? Yes, you could do that. I'm sure you could. They would let you put that in if you wanted to put it in, Joe. But they have some of the things here on sale, used ones for about $350. And you can get them on Lazada, I think. You might want to check on Lazada or Temu. They did have some. They were the older ones, but they were refurbished. The newer ones are actually better. So just FYI. Prairie Marks is 33 better than 22? I'm not sure. 33 was pretty good. Frank, college football games live, sports bars. There's sports bars that play stuff like that here. You know, you just got to find them. Gen Geo Philippine Journal Starlink is easy and portable, easy to set up. Yes, and they have the new one now. You can carry it in a backpack. See, but you have to order the other one to get the other one. So Lazy Larry Lee, 33 is better than 22, 7 days a week. Michael L says the Port Bar in Hilton, Manila shows soccer games. I'm not really big into soccer though. Perry Mark, 22 was Michael Jordan, if I can remember that long ago. I think Larry Bird was one of the greats. He always will be, you know. So let's see. Scott Bear, buy NordVPN. Use Amazon first. Let's see. Stick that you bring from the States. That way you can get all the stream services in the States. Eng Hubby says, do you know if NAIA use searchlights? I don't think so. Not that I know of. I've never seen searchlights down there. Actually, I take that back. I did see searchlights one time. It was when I first got here. It was about 7 years ago. I don't know if they still have them. Watched a thunderstorm the other night, and there were lights circling in the sky between the flashes. That might have been them then. I didn't see those though. Scott Baird says fire. Joseph Grutt said, would it be better to buy it here and bring it with me? No, it'd be better to get it over here probably. It'd be cheaper, and the services are cheaper over here too. Prairie Mark, I agree. Jordan said Bird was the white Jesus. Lazy Larry Lee, Michael Jordan never beat Larry Bird in a playoff series. Michael L, any VPN that has outlets in the States will work, not just Nord. Scott Baird, yes, Joseph. Sinful says, I use ExpressVPN, works well, can select many US cities. The same goes for Tunnel Bear, guys. Tunnel Bear gives you a little bit of free services. If you need more than that, you can subscribe. And most of the time, I find that I don't need a VPN that often. So for you guys looking for VPN services and stuff like that, you shouldn't have to pay for it over here. I'll tell you that right now. Just FYI, you know. See, we're up to about 39 now, so let me just have a drink here. See, Gen Geo Philippine Journey question for all you in America. How bad was the server glitch they had? How long it lasts? I seen pictures of planes posted sitting on the runways. Yeah, I heard about that. That was a Microsoft glitch that they said would take 12 hours to fix. Is it all fixed now? I'm not sure. I didn't hear anything more about it. Michael else says I use private internet access PIA. But yeah, they were saying something about Microsoft, and it was all from Microsoft. Let's see. Joe Grutt says, Michael, I heard about them. Let's see. Michael L says, do not go with free VPN. They will sell your data. If it is free, you are the product. I don't know. You want to know something, Michael? It's free, but you can subscribe to it. And I think they want you to try it to see how it works and stuff like that. And I don't know if I've had my stuff sold or not. I'm not sure. Mark Matera says, I use Windows, no problems. It only affected systems that use a particular security service. Okay. So I wonder which one that was. Must have been a Microsoft security service or something like that. Let's see. Sinfuls put CBS News. That must be the story about the, I would imagine. Is that the Sinfuls? Is that the story about the outage? Michael L says CrowdStrike put out an update for its Windows client, and issues are slowly resolving. Okay. Yes, the outage, he says. So if you guys want to watch about the outage, just on that CBS News clip. I think it was affecting more than just people that had that, because I had an outage here off and on all day yesterday, and we had internet, but the internet wasn't working properly. Prairie Mark says, Michael, don't the paid for VPNs also sell your info? I believe they do. I think you're right on that, Prairie Mark. Rick Sponge, hello, Stevie. Can you retire there at 55 with 400,000 in savings? The only thing I'll get is 1,850 today's dollars SS in 7 years at age 62. Well, you'd have 7 years to go out. If you could, but if you don't want to eat too much of that 400K. And if you ever want to talk to me, you can call me. You can email me at steven5975 at yahoo.com. We can chat about it, and I'll tell you my ideas on it if you want, because there's a lot to cover there. Mark Matera, I was a third-party security service, CrowdStrike. Mike D says, is anyone here currently living in Long Island, New York? Unfortunately, I do until I leave, LOL. But would be nice to meet some people that are like-minded. Let's see. 666 says, I work for Bally's Casino in Rhode Island. We had no computers, at least the entire day yesterday. Servers for the gaming area were fixed early, but they went by priority, but also affected worldwide. That's crazy. Philip Massey, that something like that can happen today in today's world. Hi, Steve. How's Rich doing in Thailand? He's actually doing really good. He is going to start a channel pretty soon. Sinful says paid VPNs usually don't sell data unless we're talking about very few particular cases. ExpressVPN is one of the most prominent VPN services with millions of paid customers, so there's no need. Sinful's got up my email for you guys that need to get in touch with me and ask me for my phone number, or you can get my US phone number, my Philippine phone number. Just tell me what you need, um, and I'll help you. Or if you want to just ask me a question on there or something in private or whatever. And I usually answer probably anywhere from 1 to 3 days. Mark Matera, CrowdStrike is for large systems, no personal computers. If your ISP used CrowdStrike, you were affected. If it didn't, you were not. See, Will Wonka. So there goes somebody that's looks like somebody's uh, being a troll tonight or something like that. Michael L. The problem is that a lot of servers and network infrastructure protected their internet, exposed endpoints to CrowdStrike, and the bad update caused these Windows machines not to boot. Okay. Mike D says CrowdStrike, they lived up to their name. They definitely struck a large crowd. There we go. Joe Grudza says, I'm wanting to find an online work situation. Any ideas? Um, I wouldn't do YouTube. I think there's too many people on there now. When you get here, it depends if you're on the SRRV, so you can work on that. You can't work on a tourist visa. If you do the SRRV, Joe, I could probably talk to some people to get you some jobs if you're interested. ROV, Steve, you are really helping the newbies here in the PH with this lives and lives and videos, giving the good, bad, and the uglies about the PH. Thanks, man. As far as jobs, there's jobs here. You could work at one of those, you know, call centers. Philip Massey, is it possible to meet Filipinas in BGC? Yes, absolutely, absolutely. You just go to the Venice Mall near there. You can meet some of the people that work there. There's tons of people, really nice people up there too. Simple. Joseph Grutza, just Google it. Many online work situations. If you guys register and become an SRRV holder, you can work here and you can work for one of the call centers, and they'd love to have an American in there. And I think they may even pay you a little bit more. So just FYI on that. And you might even become a boss where you get more. So let's see. Michael L says, I clocked a 14-hour day yesterday. Simple says, Michael L, LOL, me too. Yesterday, doing a charity ride. Razzie Cat says, Fiverr is one online work option. I never heard of that. Scott Bear, Rick, you could do it easily on 400K for 7 years, but could spend 2,400 a month and still have 150K by age 62. I would say just try to live off of like the lower amounts till you hit 62. I would try to save as much of that 400K as you possibly could, and just live low key till you're 62, and then start living it up more. I think I would try to keep as much of that money intact as possible, and you could self-insure it too, and you would save a lot of money that way. Lazy Larry Lee, Michael, it must have been a long day. I worked 4 10 hours. Michael L, Sinfuls, your work was probably more enjoyable than mine yesterday. Joseph Grutza, I've been a cop and medic all my adult life. Simple says, Michael L, no argument. Prairie Mark says, Michael L, I haven't pulled a 14-hour shift for 8 years. See, Mike D says, Sinfuls, what are the price ranges for a 2-bed in New Val? Are there private pools? Yes, there are private pools. I can tell you that right now. the prices really vary there, depending on where you're at and which place you're in. Philip, but I'll let Sinfuls answer that question for Mike D. Philip Massey might be limited to teaching English online if you don't have SRRV. That English online thing is going away really fast because there's too many of them. It's really hard to get a job now through any of those agencies. You have to be young. If you're over 50, there's no chance you're going to get one of those jobs. Very very unlikely. Online job has become very very competitive. You got to have like a distinctive skill to get a job and expect probably a lower rate paid to you compared to what you would make at home in your home country. Yeah, that's true. I- if you're working over here, you're gonna get paid less, but you'll probably make more than a Filipino, over here, which is sad. Simple as Mike D, you'd be about 30 to 35K, but it would be community pool, but generally there is no one swimming. Yeah, it's like having a private pool, man. When you're in most of those places, almost all of them, with the exception of the really low end ones that are in like really crappy projects and stuff like that. I call them projects because they're like the ghettos. Um, most of the gated communities really good. The pools are good. There's hardly anybody in the pools most of the time. Michael, English teaching requires a degree and certain certificate. No, there's a certificate. I actually have it. You have to get a TEFL certificate. Also, not much requirement in the Philippines as English is an official language. You get a TEFL certificate. You need that to teach over here. And once you get that, Michael, you can go on and they'll pretty much take you. So it's Mike D. The house across the street from me is 35K, but only 80 square meter house. I have a 150 square meter house, and I pay 45K. They were shocked. Yeah, he's got some beautiful places out by him where Sinfuls is at. He's nice place. Scott Baird, Steve, around 10 an hour teaching English, and those jobs are even hard to obtain. Yes, they are very hard to obtain, even with the TEFL. But it's easier with the TEFL than without. You don't have to have the TEFL, but nowadays I think everybody has to have the TEFL, and they're looking more for degrees and stuff. Philip Massey, outside of Manila area, what are the best places for infrastructure? Wow, New Valley, like where Sinfuls is one of them. Tracy Martirez is pretty good for infrastructure. Tagaytay, there's a lot of good places for infrastructure outside of Manila. Sinfuls, Philip Massey, Alabang, New Valley, yeah, Alabang's another one. New Valley, Tagaytay, Tracy Martirez is pretty good. There's a lot of them around Alabang too. Rick Sponge, Steve, how do you feel about Bitcoin being a small part of one's investment portfolio? I used to be big on crypto and all that stuff, and I kind of shied away from it now because it's not doing what it used to do. Um, is it something you can still make money off of? Yeah, if you know what you're doing, but it's not like what it used to be. I think you're better off in the stock market, to be honest with you. And even that's getting really iffy lately. You know. Let's see. Michael L says that is correct. TEFL, TEFL. I was having a senior moment. My mind is still mush from yesterday. Mike D, I'm soon hiring remote insurance agents as I'm expanding my insurance agency all remote. There you go. There's a job. Michael L, English teaching sounds boring. I tutored math for a while, and it was stressful. Better to program, be a DBA or network engineer. Sinful is Mike D, what type of insurance? See, Michael L says most crypto has become a scam. I kind of agree with that. The majority of the coins coming out now is just junk. Mr. Slick 66 Sinfuls, how was all the new construction in Laguna? I know they started last year, housing businesses, shopping. SJ, as far as an expat, it's better off giving the independent route full scale as far as how you make money. Start working on building your own business. It's very difficult to do a business here. because the second you become successful, somebody sees that you're doing it and then they copycat you. It's just an anomaly in the Philippines that happens. Michael L says, I have done well in the stock market in the past 4 years. My A friend of mine down in Cebu, he does that. He does it every day. He lives to do that. He loves doing the stock market. Sinful says, Mr. Slick 66, it's getting busy, LOL. In my area, lots of new subdivisions, a new huge mall, highway extension with the calyx. Robbie Rose says, Michael, I have a G63, a Rover, and a Allison bass boat paid for working the crypto miners. Not to mention my condo in Cebu. Real talk. That's pretty good, man. If you can do that. I made like $1,500 one time, and I made another amount. I can't remember what the second one was, and I think it was either the same or a little bit more than the 1,500. I never made any big killings though. Simple as I am getting a new shopping center very close to me, which actually will be nice. I've made like 300 here, 500 there, and I take the money out. I've done stuff like that, but I've never made a killing. Scott Beard, Steve, can you discuss buying a vehicle and how much better off buying uh, a, a new vehicle? Your thoughts? I think when you buy a used vehicle here, it can be kind of tough. You almost need an attorney to do it just to make sure that the title's clear and everything's good. In fact, I would actually recommend getting an attorney for some of the newbies over here buying a used car. When you get a new vehicle, they do all the work for you. So that's the good part about that. Mr. Slick 66 at Sinful's looking forward to seeing it. One of the places my wife and I are possibly choosing to live. Robbie Rose, not financial advice. Sinful's mixed Slick 66, good choice. Philip Massey, becoming more difficult to meet a nice Filipina for an LDR. There seems to be more scammers out there than ever before. Would you recommend a person not ready to retire doing an LDR? Wow, not ready to retire. No, no, unless you're within like a year or two or something like that. If you, we, w- My girlfriend actually has somebody that's she's a really pretty girl. She has a daughter that's 4, and the kid's a real sweetheart too, a really good kid. And she's looking to meet up with somebody from the United States she's looking for a foreigner, and she's a really nice girl too. And if you like kids, this kid's a doll. She's a really good kid. So for the Scott bed, new vehicles, the paperwork is more solid and dealer handles it. Used vehicles can be a headache and the paperwork's a mess usually with used vehicles. Pat Noonan have 5K XRP and 5K Shiba Inu, but feel feeling it's a lot of hype. I have Shiba Inu. I had like I don't know several million Shiba Inu. And let's see, Robbie Rose, stay the course, Pat. Robbie Rose, Solana better fetch AI. Let's see. Pat Noonan, I am Robbie, thanks. Simples, Philip Massey depends on time frame. My wife and I did LDR a long time ago. We've been together for 18 years. She came to the US for 13 of those years. Joseph Gutsa, hook me up, please. Hook you up with what, Joe? Let's see. Rick Sponge, is 13A the way to go if married there? You want to hook up with that girl? If you're interested, Joe, when you get here, we can talk. Or before, if you give me a call this week, I'll have my girlfriend talk to you. If you're interested in that girl. Simples, Rick Sponge. Yes, that is an easy path. This girl's really cute too. So, but she has a really nice kid. And I was playing with a kid when I was down in Sikihor. The kid was going in the water, and the kid's just a real doll. Rick Sponge. Yes, that is easy path. Bobby Rose, LOL, no sector produces like crypto over the last 12 years. Philip Massey, I have 3.5 years to go before I can collect 401k. There are things in like the 403bs and stuff like that, which might be in the 403ks. In some cases, you can take it at 55 on some of those things. You just got to read into them. You have to go through all of it, all the thing, and really check it out because they were telling me I couldn't take it till I was 59 and a half. I found out I could take it at 55, and I did. And I retired early and everything. And I was thankful I did. Joseph Grutzy, your girlfriend's friend. Yes, it's my girlfriend's friend. I actually met the girl. She's really, really nice. Um, she's thin. She's like in her late 20s. Um, nice family. It's actually my girlfriend's family. I know them all. They're good people. Philippine and Swiss. Hello, Filipina here from Switzerland. How you doing, Filipina and Swiss? Sinfuls. Hi, Filipina from Swiss. Michael L says 403 is different than 4. Yes, it is in some cases, but some of the stuff can be a little bit similar. There might be some things in there that you might want to read up on because sometimes there's little things that you can pull it early and you don't lose that money. I know the 403B you could, so at 55, but there was stipulations, and I met all those stipulations. Sinfuls, you can take early, just get a 10% penalty. Yeah, the penalty kills you though. That's the sad part. You don't want to take the penalty. Philippine Swiss, hello everyone, they said. But Joe, if you want me to hook you up, just talk to me this week. Um, Give me a call probably Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday of this week in the evening, my time. And that'll give me some time to find out about that Wi-Fi because I can work on that Wi-Fi and see if we can get something going with that. I'm going to talk to this guy and see if he can get some sort of internet in there. Because if he can't get the internet in it, it's not worth it for anybody to move in there. Nobody, because you can't even get it on phone service around here is very you know iffy. And you need the Wi-Fi for the phone service too, because I have you know Wi-Fi calling, so I go off my internet. Let's see. Scott Baird says, Joseph, keep in mind you are the hot commodity in the Philippines, unlike in the West. Different mindset. Yes. Simple as I've been up 19 hours. LOL. Deborah, hello from California. How you doing, Deborah? And Simple as hi, Deborah too. Philip Massey, I have a 403 also. I'll look into that. Most is in 401k though. Thanks. Yeah, Philip, there should be something in your 403 that says you can take it at 55 unless you get a different agreement. So check into that. You have to read it because some of the people don't know at the places. When you call the company or something like that, I don't know anything about that. But I says, look, it's right on this page here, and I read it back to the guy, and then he called one of the managers over, and they says, yeah, you didn't know about that. And I was like, see, I told you. But yeah, the 403B should have that in there if it's still in there. Let's see. Michael says the only problem with kids is when they get to high school, one is expected to help them with their calculus and physics homework. Not really over here. Master Isaac 21. How was your day today? My day was excellent today actually. Let's see. Lazy Larry says, Deborah, welcome to the chat. It's different having like a girl in here. Let's see. Joseph Kretza, I just emailed you a picture of me. Okay. I'll check it out probably tomorrow or the next day. I don't get to my email sometimes for anywhere from a day to 3 days, but tomorrow's Sunday, so I will see some of those. I might even see it tonight. Michael L. Scott, it is because we are the exotic item in the Philippines. Yes. Out of a population of 150 million, only 760K of us. Yeah, there's about 700,000 of us, according to the embassy. We just got that. At any given time, there's 700,000 Americans in the Philippines. That's what they said. They says even at the lowest, it's a 700,000. A lot of them are Filipinos, so the people that naturalize in the states, or they have dual citizenship or what have you. Let's see. John Holyfield says, "Good evening from Navarre, Florida. How you doing, John?" Simple says 403B tax penalty on early withdrawal. If you withdraw money from your 403B plan before 15 and a half, you will need to pay a 10% um, penalty in addition to the income tax you pay. But 403B is a different sinfuls because I had the 403B and they had a clause in there about 55. You got to really read the thing because when I found it, everybody was kind of shocked that we could take it out at 55. If you retired at 55, you could take it. You could take a lump of it, I should say. You couldn't take it. You couldn't take regular withdrawals, but you could make one withdrawal and it would be tax free. So you could take like 20% of it or something. So that's the way it works. Scott Baird, Joseph, plenty of beautiful young good women here. Don't be desperate. No. Joseph Grutzer says, "What movie did you all go see?" I went to see Twister the other night. We went to see Twister. It was actually good. It was like we saw that last night. Twister was pretty good too. Um, I can't even pronounce his name. I'll call him Z. What carrier do you use for two-step verification in case your banks ask? You know, my bank's kind of funny because most of my banks and stuff, I got it figured out now, and they send me the codes through email. So I don't have that, that two-step verification problem that a lot of other guys have. Um, I think a lot of people are starting to figure out that we need to do it by email too for people that are overseas and stuff too. John living in the Philippines. Wow, I'm very late tonight. That's all right, John. We still got a long ways to go. It's only 40 minutes in. Simple says the IRS also allows you to take a penalty-free distribution if you leave your job during the year you turn 55 or later. So Sinfuls did look that up and he did find that. So for you guys that have a 403B, that's the thing I was talking about, what he's talking about right there. And it lets you take out one time, okay, a penalty-free distribute. He says penalty-free distributions if you leave your job, but you have to leave your job. Okay, that was one of the things which I did leave my job. If I stayed there, I could not take it. So that's the part. It's been 7 years, so it wasn't really fresh on my mind. But I'm glad. Thanks for looking it up, Sinfuls, because that's the key right there. Michael L says some 403bs allow early withdrawal at 55. My biological sister did that. Yeah, if you quit your job, just like Sinful said. Michael L, the original twist of the sequel. It was just a movie called Twister. It was actually pretty good. It wasn't great, but it was good. You know, the original Twister I thought was better. Rick Sponge, how is inflation rate now? What is being done to bring the rate down further? Um, there's not much being really done. It's still cheap to live here, but not as cheap as it used to be. Simple says, Michael L, there's a sequel. I never seen the sequel to that, if there was. Craig Jordan, the Philippine Info Channel. Did you have s- have to stand for the national anthem before the movie? Actually, I don't think they played it, which usually they do. It's funny you asked that. I think we walked in there after it because the screen stuff had already started, but the movie hadn't started. Michael L. Sinfuls, yes, it's called Twisters. Okay. Prairie Mark, I'm still in bed there here in Iowa. My wife is watching and laughing at the recording of my 70th birthday at the resort in the mountains of Cebu. Filipinos have the greatest parties. Simple says, okay, let's see. Z says, what bank do you use? I use BDO, but I'm not a huge fan of BDO. Okay. They've actually gotten a little bit better with me. I'm not sure why. They see me more there because I go in there to get cash all the time. But I don't know. Let's see. Sinful says, so you've seen Twister, Steve? Yeah, I saw it. It was okay. It's not a great movie. I enjoyed it. It was something to sit and watch for a couple hours, with Susan. Michael L. Craig, unlike Europeans, Philippines and Americans reverence their flags. Yes, they do. Sinful's the sequel. I didn't take this as a sequel though, but I took it as a new movie. It's kind of a new movie. Sinful says, generally, yes, Craig. Here they do that. Scott Bard says, Zoo, I use BDO, but BPI is good too. Pat Noonan, Steve, you must have very good internet. It's working perfect. That's good. Because it we were having problems because I think we were sharing it, and I figured out a way to share it still, and have it work. And I think that it's working now with the new way that I'm sharing it. So before, I think that was part of the problem. So we got that fixed. It seems like it's okay, but there is a glitch, and it's not with sharing it. I think part of it is my computer needed to be cleaned, and I cleaned it this week, so that helped a little bit. I had too many cookies and stuff like that, and then that might have been doing something to slow it down. Um, and I figured out a way to share it without it affecting me that much, because I should be able to have as many as like 6 people on here. Um, it still cycles, once in a while. If I'm watching really good shows on HD on my TV once in a while, but not like it used to. And we're not getting the problem where you guys were having a lot of problems too. Let's see. Simple says, but I quit going to the theater. Filipinas have terrible manners in the theater. Yeah, they were talking during my movie, which I gave them the shh, you know. They still didn't listen. Deborah, Charles Schwab refunds in 24 hours any ATM fees anywhere in the world, plus no fees or minimum. But Deborah, if they find out that you live outside if you have a brokerage account, they will shut you down. Greg Jordan, every time I watch a movie in the theater, the national anthem comes first. Yeah, I walked in after that, I think. Michael L says, I prefer seeing movies at home unless I am on a date. Then I will go to the cinema. I watch a few movies alone once in a while. I'll go there alone. I did last year several times. I went to the movies alone when I was out walking. I said, I'm going to just go see a movie. Simple as you need to just use Ethernet cable direct to your router. No radio interference like Michael suggested for streams. John Holyfield, hey Steve, I'm just wondering how far you are from Manila. About an hour to an hour and a half, depending on traffic. Rick Sponge says, Steve, what do you use for phone discussions with U.S. banks, investment brokers, and any other U.S. Service and Expat continue to use? I use MagicApp. It's the same thing as Magic Jack, except it goes on your cell phone, and it uses an app, and it's just as good as a regular phone. And they can call you, and you can call them, but it does not do that bank stuff where they send you codes and stuff. It does have emails, not emails, text rather, but the text doesn't do that. They somehow figure out that it's VoIP. So, but it's very clean and very good. Philip Massey, original Twister was made in 1996. Need to watch the original to compare. Izzy and Chris, are there dogs barking in the theaters? No. Philippine and Swiss. After 25 years here, finally we are going back to the Philippines before this year and end with my husband. Getting retired soon. That's awesome, man. I highly recommend anybody that retire early and if you can. Mike D, Sinful. So you're the only paying almost 800. So you're only paying almost 800 for a 1,600 square foot place. Wow. You are able to have chickens? No, in his place you can't have chickens. Simple says, Michael, I prefer watching at home. Also, I have a nice setup. I got a great setup here too, a 55-inch TV. Simple's Mike D, LOL, no chickens or any type of farm animals. Simple's also says, my area is nice and quiet. Yeah, he lives in a place where there's none of that going on. It's very, very clean. Michael L, Sinfuls, I wired Cat 6 throughout my house, and I have RJ45 jacks in every room. Zane Underwood, hey guys, I made it in, yay. Good morning from Great Pacific Northwest. Hoping all is well. How you doing, Zane? Good to see you on here, man. Welcome back. Sinful says, hi, Zane. Philip Massey, has your group done any meetups lately? Do you know Carefree Chris? Yes, that's I believe that's the friend of Sinful's. He's gone to our meetings before. I think that's the guy. And we're gonna do one next month. We didn't do one this month. We probably won't do one this month. I just want to skip a month just to take a break, take a breather. Z says, what bank do you have your Social Security deposit into? I use Metropolitan Credit Union back home. I love Metropolitan Credit Union. Zane Underwood, hey Sinfuls. Lazy Larry says, Zane Underwood, hello. Dim Cars says, it is risky for Gap expats to bring their Filipina to the U.S. Is it risky to bring for Gap expats to bring their Filipinas to the USA for 2 to 3 months, not to live, just to visit? That's a touchy one, man. You know, because if they know anybody there, if they have some connections there, they could jump ship and go. Um, I wouldn't even know how to answer that. I would not. I took a girl back to the U.S. from the Philippines, and she was gone really quick. Not that quick, but you know, we had a kid and stuff like that. But I don't think you're at risk for 2 to 3 months, really. But it I'd be worried. You know, Izzy and Chris, any news on the military SRRV being available to us younger folks, 35 to 50? No, I don't think they're going to change it. At first, we were getting news that they were going to. There was rumors because they were talking about it. Sinful says, no barking dogs, no farm animals. No karaoke. It's like a cemetery at night. Zane Underwood, Lazy Larry. What's up, brother? Speaking of cemeteries, I was watching a great series on Netflix about the cemetery where these bodies all came up like zombies or something like that. It was kind of interesting, but they weren't zombies; they were like regular people, and it was a Netflix show, and it's really kind of interesting. Lazy Larry Lee just enjoying a day off, and it was Susan was watching it, and she actually got me kind of hooked on it. And it was actually interesting. It was like in a small town, they couldn't cross over this bridge and stuff like that, or they die. Simple says, lazy Larry Lee, me too, lol. Michael L says, Z, use a financial institution in the States for your main stash and transfer money to yourself in the Philippines as needed. Find a institution that refunds ATM fees. Let me just say that, okay? And then you're good. Craig Jordan says, how close is Valar City development to you? That first casino planned to launch in 2025. Valar is not. We passed by Valar when I'm out driving around. It's not really that far. A little far. Sinful's Craig Jordan. Valar City is going to be near Evia Lifestyle Center in Bacoor. It's not that far. It's just like a little over an hour away. Michael L. Never bring a Filipino to the States for any length of time. They are exotic ones in the States, and you will lose her. A lot of guys will start paying attention to her if she's pretty, and especially if she's a lot younger than you. And then the American women there start filling her in for what they think they need to tell her. Um, and it's not good what they tell these girls because it's just these loser women that just want to cause drama as a lot of American women do. Um, I'm not saying all of them like that, but some of them, you know what I'm talking about. Deborah, has anyone used the app Iralo for getting SIM connections to any countries? If you have, if you yeah, can I also get phone calls on the phone from the USA while using the Iralo app? Any apps to keep one's USA phone number? Yes, MagicApp. MagicApp, you can port your number, and it's the app, MagicApp. Download it. It's fairly reasonable. Izzy and Chris, love your channel. Get to listen in when I can. Checking in from Bayugan City. I can't. I hate pronouncing these Filipino names. Agusan del Sur, Mindanao. Sinful says Michael L. Not always. My wife spent 13 years there. Yeah, some women are pretty good. If you get a good woman, man, they'll stick with you. Like my girlfriend, I think I don't think I'd have a problem with her in the United States. Rick Sponge, is it worth investing a couple grand for a great generator? Not a great. I don't think you need a great one. I think you just need something to run your refrigerator and your AC. A couple grand. No, I wouldn't. I don't think you need to. Just get something that will run your refrigerator and your AC, and maybe you can have some battery packs or something like that too. Run a little bit of everything. Wind, solar, and a generator. And do it that way. Simple. As my wife would get advice from U.S. women, she would no longer talk to them. LOL. That's the See what Sinful's just said right there. That's a good woman. You know what I mean? And I think my girlfriend would do the same thing because a lot of the women there are really, really, I don't know, they're just not good people. Some of them, not all of them. There's good women in the United States too, but I'm saying it just takes one to do that. And, you know, there's just too many people that will do stuff like that. Did you ever get yourself a generator, Steven? No, but I am going to do that soon. I'm probably going to do it I'm hoping this fall or this winter to get myself a generator. And I also want to get some battery packs and stuff like that. So I'm gonna have a little bit of everything. I'm gonna have a little bit of solar. I'm gonna have a little bit of wind. I'm gonna have like some backup battery power and possibly a generator. So, but I want a small amount of each. You know. See, Lieutenant Nescafe says, let a woman come to your own country under her own steam and qualification. If she can't come, then it's not meant to be. There you go. Philip Massey, I will take my Filipina to other Southeast Asian countries such as Thailand and Vietnam. Seems better choice than Western countries. That's probably a better choice. Simple says, Rick Sponge, I would say depends on where you live. where I live, brownouts are so uncommon. See, it's uncommon here too. But if you build me a house, it will be self-supporting. John says, Steve, do you know any good immigration lawyers? I am in Columbus City, Laguna. John, you can call me. You can call me at on my phone number, but you can get it through Steven5975 at yahoo.com. Okay, and ask me for my phone number, and I'll give you a lawyer, and she can hook you up. If she can't do it, she'll probably know somebody that can. Okay. Simple as John. That is technically where I live. Deborah, how? Let me see. I just skipped up. How does Magic work? Can you keep your USA phone number? Yes, you can. Yes, definitely. Um, says Izzy and Chris, and says message deleted. So I'm not sure what you wrote. It must have been either political or something. Um, Prairie Mark, 10 and a half months in the USA and 1.5 months in the Philippines with her people. It works for us. She likes to work in the USA, and she gives me coffee money when she gets overtime work. That's cool. Pat Noonan, Steve, I got a 2,500 watt built-in hard from Amazon for 370. That's what you need is something like that. Something that will run your refrigerator and probably run your AC or run a small AC so you at least have some cold air. Deborah, do they sell power stations like Blue Eddy and EcoFlow? Yes, they do. They're very expensive, and people think that those are going to hold them over. Those don't run that long before they run out. You need something to recharge them. You can get a small generator to recharge it. Simples, Izzy and Chris, let's not mention that person, please. Yes, if it's the person I'm thinking about. Thanks. Simples puts down Steven5975 at yahoo.com for any of you guys that want to contact me and get a phone number or something. Simple says, thank you, Izzy. Thanks, Izzy. Sinfuls, Deborah, yes, they have those here and dealers for them. Dickie Spez, hello, Sinfuls, Steve, and everyone else. How you doing, Dickie? Good to see you on here tonight. Welcome aboard. A little bit late, but it's okay. Michael L. Goal Zero makes a giant battery pack as well. It can be recharged with solar panels. See, that's what I'm going to do. I plan on having like solar panels, wind. Wind is actually pretty good where I live. Lazy Larry says, Dickie Spaz, hello. Sinful says, the bigger ones, Steve, will work long time, but yes, you need a charging source. Best is solar. Look to my PI Dream. He has one of the best system you could want. I'm just going to put like a maybe 200 watts outside so that it would charge somewhat during the day, and at least run. I could shut stuff off and on. I don't mind doing that. And refrigerators, after they're running, they run really low cost. They don't need a lot of electricity, believe it or not. But I want to have enough to run a refrigerator and the AC at least on low. Simple says, hi, Dickie. Rick Sponge says, trying to figure out how much budget a month for health insurance, fully covered at, say, St. Luke's. Rick, you got to call Michael Onstad, and you can talk to him. It's ONSTAD on Messenger, Michael Onstad. And he could give you a quote, because I can't give you a quote on that, because there's if you have, let's say you have diabetes or something like that, your cost is going to be higher. If you talk to him, he'll give you a basic quote though, so you'll know somewhere where you're at. Are the visa rules changing and the PH? Not sure if you already talked about it earlier. No, nothing's changing that I know of. I haven't seen. A lot of times people say that they're changing, nothing really changes. I don't see anything changing here. A lot of times they talk about they're changing some laws and stuff, but the laws don't affect most Americans. They really don't. Especially with us being here now, it should affect us less. Rick Sponge, it depends on your age and your pre-existing conditions. Exactly. Z, Michael L, do you need to tell your US bank you're moving overseas so they don't block your money transfer? You change to a credit union and they don't have any problems. Some banks do have problems with you going overseas. Some don't. You got to be careful with that. So have a not a Western Union, a credit union um, near you and open an account there instead, and you're safer. Simple says Michael Onstad on Messenger. That's the guy to talk to. Rick Sponge says age 55, no pre-existing conditions. And it depends if you're picking 1,000,000, 2,000,000, 3,000,000, 4,000,000, or 5,000,000 peso plans too. There's all kinds of different plans, Rick. So I can't really give you any quote on that. Michael, you can contact Michael. He might even be awake tonight. It's ONSTAD, like Sinful's put up there. He's probably on right now. You could probably talk to him. He'd probably answer you right now if he's not busy. Dicky Spaz says, yes, late today. Have to get all my chores done before the heat comes. 110 plus every day this week. That's crazy, man. Simful's put Rick Sponge. You can get good coverage for reasonable cost. Contact Michael. Michael L. Just tell them you are traveling. Do not say you are moving. Philip Massey, I heard that the PH is no longer approving 6-month visa extensions. I don't think that that's true, Philip. There is one of the branches that's giving people problems, but all the other ones are okay. So I've heard two different sides of that, and I have not heard them changing that. It could be true, but I don't have the tourist visa, number one. But I have heard that people have been turned down for that, and then somebody just got 6 months just the other day. So I would say that they're still doing it. But I do know that one branch is very hard to get that 6-month extension. Craig Jordan, Dicky Spaz, hand your wallet to the utility provider this week. There we go. Let's see. Sinful says, Michael, online now. Good. So Michael Onstad is online right now, guys. If you guys want to contact him for any insurance questions, it's Michael Onstad, ONSTAD. Again, he's on Messenger. Tell him Steve sent you, and he'll take care of you. And by the way, for any of you guys that are SRRV holders, retirement visa holders, you get a 5% discount. Okay, through Michael. You just tell him. And he works with the PRA. He is one of the PRA's companies, and the PRA works with him. And the PRA is very meticulous about who they pick, and they work with Michael and Pacific Cross now. And Michael's worked hard to get that discount for PRA holders. Anybody that holds the SRRV, there's a SRRV retirement visa holder, get a 5% discount. That the same I think goes for Phil Health too. But Phil Health is different. They only cover like up to 20%. But you guys may want to look into that. Okay. And you can get both, by the way. You can get Phil Health and you can get the other. And Phil Health will pick up some of it. And then that way there you don't use up all your insurance for that year. Okay. So there is reasons to still get Phil Health for some. But talk to Michael about that and see what he thinks. Okay. If you're picking like a $1 or $2 million, what peso insurance, then you probably want to get Phil Health and pay that $300. Okay. Dicky Spaz says, Craig Jordan. Yep. Let's see who else we got on here tonight. We got 51 people. Mike D on a new video, Filipina P says you can get blacklisted from returning if it is considered you are rude to the airport security. That's true. Very true. You can get blacklisted. In fact, there's been people that have been booted right there at the desk when you're checking in. They've been sent back to their countries. I think there was a guy, I want to say it was a Danish guy, and he went off on somebody, and there was an American a while back, maybe about a year ago, and he got sent back too. Deborah says, what advice can old 70-year-old women do to have social friends when you won't want any romances? Like all the expats are men. What mental stimulations could I find? Deborah, you'd fit in on our group. You know, we're a friendly group. We hang out with anybody. But you'll get friendly with the neighbors around here. If you moved into our neighborhood here, you'd fit right in. Everybody here, all the women in the group would welcome you on board. I think you'd have fun. We have another Deborah in our group, and she's in her, I believe, 50s or 60s. I think early 60s. Deb's really cool. She's a good person, and you can go to our get-togethers and stuff like that, and you could make friends that way. There are American women in our group, so don't feel like you're left out. Larry Francie says, "Hi, friend. How you doing, Larry?" Simple says, "Deborah, maybe get involved with doing charity type situations." That's another thing, Deb. If you want to come to our area here, I could help you out with some charity organizations. If you want to work with I think it's called the Brothers or Sisters of Charity. It's actually Mother Teresa's orphanage up the street here. You could walk there. You can help there, and you might enjoy it, and there's other stuff you can do too. Let's see. Simple says, Deborah, maybe. Let's see. I already read that one. Lazy Larry says, Larry Francie, hello. Z says you can take 401k withdrawals before 59 and a half using the 72T form without penalty. So there is a way, guys. Like I mentioned, if you read through your 401ks and your 403bs, if there's a will, there's a way. Now, this guy here, Z, just, and it was what I said earlier. I says there's hidden little things inside there that nobody talks about. Even these guys on TV and stuff like that, that do all these money shows and stuff like that. They say you got to wait till 59 and a half. It's not true. Okay, there's a lot more. Deborah says orphanage, yes. I was a MSW social worker. Deborah, you'd have no problems finding, stimulation here to keep you busy. Um, we always got something going on. We're all friends here, and everybody here, we hang out, we do things, we do barbecues, and in fact, if you want to do a barbecue or something for the guys or something like that, and hang out with the women too. You could do a women thing. I'm sure they'd be glad to do that. And some of the women do get together. Some of them are Filipinas, and sometimes they have everybody. Paul Howard can only get 2-month tourist visa extension in Rizal for some time now. Apparently, 6-month extension has been temporarily suspended. Maybe. I know they've been suspended a few things. One of them is using the money to buy houses, but that's going to change back again, I think. Our Tropical Journey says, have you or anyone used TRICARE for life? Yes. I read that overseas TCFL requires Medicare. Yeah, you have to have Medicare to have TRICARE. You cannot cancel it. Medicare B, 170 plus a month, even though it doesn't cover anything overseas. It does. I believe that when you use your TRICARE, I think they can bill Medicare some of that, and it's because it's a different bunch of money. So I think TRICARE. Now, don't hold me to this. I think that's the reason why they tell you have to have Medicare. Just like with back home, if we go and we use the VA, they ask you if you have insurance, and they'll bill your insurance if they can get your insurance to pay for it, and then the government doesn't have to pay for it, so they keep the cost lower that way. Okay, just FYI. So I think it works the same way with TRICARE. That's why they have you do that. Sinfuls, I did charity ride today to assist the poor community. We took food, medicine, and school supplies. We had 3 vehicles full of supplies. That's something you could. There's plenty of places you can sign in with. Um, I have a place that you can sign in with. It's a group. It's a motorcycle group. But you don't have to be a person that rides motorcycles to join it, and they do all kinds of charity work, like Sinfuls is talking about. Rick Sponge, do you need to transfer your 401k balance to an IRA account to use the 72T path? No, I think you can just take it out. I think you could just move it to your regular bank account. That's Rick. I'm telling you from my experience with the 403b, which is very similar to the 401k in a lot of ways. That when I turned 55, I could take that money out. I could take a lump sum, and with my thing, it was specifically a one-time lump sum. So I took like 20,000 out or something. They were nice, doing good. I love the children. So if you like working with children, there's churches you can plug in with. There is the orphanage you can plug in with. You can volunteer at schools or colleges or something like that. All that stuff. Sinful. Steve donated some medicine. Thanks, Sinful. Zane Underwood. I think I told you once before. I'd like to help the widows and the orphans. If you guys want to do that, you can contact me at steven5975 at yahoo.com. Right here in Tracy, there's an orphanage, and you can. It's a really good place, and you can volunteer time there. They put you either working with the kids or raking. Sometimes raking or cleaning or cooking or cleaning or stuff like that. They or if you want to go in there with money and put on a dinner. And if you have enough money, they'd love to have that. Maybe order pizza. Tiki Spaz, our youngest just turned 18 and started working. And going to college. Told him 15% in a Roth IRA. Don't touch it, and he'll be set for life. Let's see. Z says, Rick, don't think so, but you have to take 5 equal yearly payments. Okay. Lazy Larry Lee, I use the VA system, but I do not have TRICARE. The VA will not change the Part B. Yeah, you don't have to have the Part B if you're not on tri. If you're just regular VA, I don't think you have to do the Part B. If you have TRICARE, you do have to. So that and I think I asked Kevin McAllister about that the other day, the guy that runs the VA and clinic here in Manila. We were talking about that stuff the other day. So one TRICARE, you have to have it, and I don't think you need to have it if you're regular VA. But they just do service connections here in the Philippines. Joe Gretz for Sinfuls tried contacting Michael. He did not answer. He might be late, too late for him, or he might be talking to somebody on there. So he will get back to you though, Joe. Don't worry. Simply, yes, it's late, but Joe, he's active. Yeah, he could be talking to other customers. He's super busy. Mike D, can you still volunteer and it isn't considered work? In that same video with the Filipina P, they said you can get into trouble. Um, if you're working with a church, I don't think you're gonna get in trouble. You know, you could also sign up for a missionary visa over here too. But Mike D, I don't think you get in trouble for helping with a church. You're not gonna get in trouble for helping with a church. If you're working with, you know, doing some other stuff, that's different. If you're here as a permanent resident, you're not gonna get in trouble. Deborah, I've heard if you're on a tourist visa, it's different, but you can still work with the church, helping churches. Uh, Deborah, I've heard through Goldfinger, friend of Paul in the Philippines, about sending boxes to the Philippines for $100. What do you know about this? This is called buy-in boxes. You can send a lot of boxes, so no issues with that. You can send it to you send it over here, and have somebody send it when you're over here. That's the best way to do it. Simple says, Deborah, yes, use LBC. You can send a large box weight, no issue, for about $100. So there you go. There's your answer. Just look up LBC, Deborah. Deborah, if you want to talk sometime, I can talk to you a lot, and I can answer a lot of questions for you if you want to. I think I gave you my number before, didn't I? I think we even spoke before. I spoke to a few women in the past couple of months. Pat Noonan, very good live stream. A lot of good info. I wish I didn't have to get all the COVID shots. Our president has them, and he has had three bouts of COVID. It's just my personal concern. One day to visit the PH. Fortunately, you don't have to have all those shots now to come into the country. So that's gone. Simple as that is how I shipped everything. We shipped 32 jumbo boxes here. Simple says, Pat Noonan, you no longer need to show that. That's right. Sinful's put up the LBC Express for you, Deb. Michael L., the people who got in trouble with charity were engaged in poverty porn. Yes, on a tourist visa to take in YouTube super chats, YouTube membership, and Patreon and consulting fees. Those are the ones that really got in trouble the most. They're talking about working, like if you're working for a company or something like that, volunteering, and they're worried about, like, if somebody like your friend or something might be paying you under the table. That's different. That's one of the things. But if you're working with a church or something, they're not going to do nothing to you. Deborah says, "What's the full name of LBC?" They just go by LBC shipping, Deb. I'm not sure what the LBC stands for. I've used them to ship stuff. They're very good. Pat Noonan, thanks, Sinful. Sinful says, "See link above, Deborah." Yeah, go to the link, Deb, right here. WWLBC Express. You can just hit that link. Rick Sponge, Steve, any thoughts on a dehumidifier there to help cope with the humidity? Wow. Dehumidifiers also produce heat. I would really recommend an air conditioner or air conditioner with a dehumidifier that has the stuff that produces the heat outside, if you're going to use a dehumidifier. So have a split type air conditioner that has the dehumidifier in it. Simple says, here it is. Sinful's Rick Sponge AC naturally will dry out the air. That too. Both will, but they are a little bit different. One will not cool the air as much, but it'll make it feel cooler. Michael, just don't brag about your charity work on YouTube, and you'll be fine. I agree with Michael right there. If you're working with a church or something like that, you'll be fine. Steve Schwartz, hey Steve, it is great chatting with you the other day. So next I have to get the fingerprint card before I will go to MBI. If you have time to chat me up, so I'll have all my ducks in a row. Thanks, brother. Yeah, if you want to call me anytime this week. Okay, preferably on a weekday. Okay, between like 6 and 9:30. But if you call me earlier and I answer, I'll talk. So Michael, I also recommend aircon over a plain dehumidifier. Same here. Craig Jordan says the Philippine Info Channel, is there also a competitor? There also is a competitor, Atlas, for shipping boxes to the Pinas. I've never heard of Atlas. Actually, I've heard of Atlas moving companies. Let's see. Deborah says, how big or what are the dimensions of the box? And is it true it can be whatever weight you want? Pretty much so. It used to be when I used to ship them. I shipped them a long, 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 long time ago over here, and the weight could be whatever. But I do think that they have some sort of weight, but it's a lot. It's very, very heavy. The dimensions of the boxes are pretty big. I'm not sure what they are though. They'll tell you on there. They'll even send you a box, I think, in some cases. Sinful says my big unit has a drying function, makes the house cold on its highest setting. Martin Gale says message retracted. Okay. Sinful's Deborah, the jumbo boxes are large and cost about 120, but yes, no weight limit. Okay. Rick Sponge, what is split type? Split type is it has some of the air conditioner in the house and some of it is outside. Those are the ones that you see attached to people's walls outside. Those are the best ones because they're the most economical. Okay, if you use a window unit, they suck for electricity. They're just really really bad. Diggy Spaz, they have the boxes you can pick up free shipment and no weight limit. Martin Gale says hello from Mississippi. Great info, thanks. Sinful says Rick Sponge, the blower unit is inside while the condenser is outside connected via tubing and wiring. Get one with the inverter. They are very efficient. Yeah, you definitely want to get the inverter, even on the window units. Deborah, how large? The size of a washing machine? No, not that big. They're not that big. They're pretty good size. You couldn't fit a washing machine in there. No, no, it's not that big. But you can fit a lot of stuff in there, and you can really pack them full. Sinful's window units can get with inverter can be very efficient. Yes, some because they got the holes in some of these units. I think these units up here are gonna have the holes in the wall for a window unit, which would be okay in those. Michael, what refrigerant are Philippines aircons using? Is it still R410? I think it's the newest, just like whatever the newest one is. If that's R410, whatever the newest one is what it is because they're up with all the other countries as far as air conditioning goes. Michael, is that R41, 410? I would believe that it probably is. We're up to about an hour and 17 minutes, guys. We got 55 people on here. We've actually had good conversations. We'll keep this going for like another 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna sign off till next weekend. See, our tropical journey says box is about 20 by 24 by 30 in height. Deborah, you hear that? It's about 24 by 24 by 30 in height. So that's a pretty good size box. It's 2 feet by 2 feet by 30 in height. So you can fit a lot of junk in there. I don't know if that's the super size ones. I know they have a big size too, which is pretty good. But and also another thing, Deborah, you're worried about like things to do and stuff like that. You can take up an instrument or something like that, and there's tons of stuff to do, and reading, movies and stuff like that. I enjoy a lot of things, and I just go out and do stuff with my girlfriend. And you're welcome to join our group and go out to dinner with us and stuff too. So Dave B, just want to say thanks for what you do. You made my move to the Philippines less stressful. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate that. Let's see, Zane Underwood, how's your back doing, Stephen? My back is worse in the morning because I wake up with no meds in my system. It's all gone. And when I wake up in the morning, I can hardly walk. probably this morning was a real bad morning up until like about 1 o'clock. Even though I went walking today, I had a really tough time this morning. See, our tropical journey atlas called them macho boxes. There we go. Michael L. R410 is being slowly phased out. So R454B and R32. Michael, it's probably the newest ones that they have because they're pretty up to date over here. Rick Sponge says, how do you wash dishes without hot water? Is it safe, Poe? You can get hot water over here, Rick. If you want it on your sink, you can put it there too. But the soaps and stuff like that are antibacterial soaps, so it's safe. It's no problem. Philip Massey, what's worth bringing and not worth bringing to the Philippines? Wow, that's a tough one. Most of the stuff you can get over here, so I tell people just buy everything new when you get here, except any special things like mementos and stuff like that. Z says, Deborah, Paul in the Philippines has a video about boxes. There you go. Michael L says, Rick, buy a mechanical dishwasher. You can buy small ones too that fit on your countertop too, Michael. Deborah, which translating devices could allow you to eavesdrop and understand a conversation in front of you? Deb, that's funny you mentioned that because there's one you can put in your ear, and they don't even know you're wearing it, and they're fairly cheap. And there's also one you can put on your phone, and you can also get earbuds and wear that, and it would translate everything into your ear. I'm not sure. You can look up anything on there translating, and see what they have online. Most of them are fairly reasonable, I think. It says Google Translator here through Sinful, but I'm not sure if that translates direct, if how that works. But they have one out there that just listens to everything, and it will translate Italian if it's Italian or whatever. Martingale, which ones of y'all didn't hit the like button? There we go. Thanks, guys. We got 54 thumbs up and 53 people, so we did pretty good. We usually have a ton. I don't know how many people we usually have come on here, but we have way more than what we see on here because people come in and drop in for like 5 or 10 minutes or a half an hour. Um, we usually have about like 400 people or 300 people pass through every time we have a live stream. So let's see. Michael L says, Deborah, Google Translate. My Google Pixel earbuds will do translations. There you go. Mike also says, or just learn Tagalog and other local language. Dickie Spaz says, you don't realize how much money you've wasted until you start to purge personal items for pennies on the dollar or donate to charities. Yeah, if anybody's coming over, let me say this before we finish tonight, is that when I left, all the stuff that I had, I donated. Okay. And you can donate up to like, I think it's like 5,000 or something like that. And I made sure it was a Goodwill. It was one of those organizations I donated to. It was like 7 years ago, so it's been a long time. But I think it was the Salvation Army. It was the Salvation Army, and I donated about $5,000 worth of stuff, and I had them write on the slip exactly the value of each thing. I said, "I want that mark. What do you think that thing's worth?" He gave me a valuation chart, and he helped me with it. Okay, and some of the people there will help you, some won't. And you can value it almost whatever you want. There's no way of the government telling you what the thing's worth. If you think it's worth $100, then it's probably worth $100. And they'll give you that valuation chart, and if it's within those limits, you're pretty safe, and you get to take that off your taxes. So it will help you with your taxes. When you leave, it's actually a way to recoup some of your money a little bit. So it's kind of nice. Let's see here. Z says, Deborah, Geo in the Philippines has a video on translating iBud phone. Let's see. Michael says, donations rarely exceed the standard deduction. Yes. Twilight Travels, thanks, Steve, for all the help you provided. Mindanao here. Thanks, man. Simple says, I had a garage sale and made $4,600 in 3 weekends. That's another thing that you can do, too. You can also call an estate company, and they'll buy all your stuff. They'll make you an offer of whatever they think they want to buy, and the rest of it you can just donate. So if you want to sell it and get money, you can do it that way too. Michael L says eBay is a thing to sell unwanted items. eBay is hard because you have to ship it, and it's kind of a pain nowadays on eBay. And if they don't like it, they can really mark you down. I used to sell stuff on eBay, and eBay for selling beds and furniture, it's very difficult unless it's a pickup. But you can do it on there. And also there's Craigslist too. Craigslist is a little bit better for selling stuff. Um, as far as big stuff. And Craigslist, it's not as popular as it used to be. There's also Facebook Marketplace. And Facebook Marketplace is usually bigger than Craigslist is now. But Craigslist is still a thing, and people still do go on there. But you need to use Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and you can also put it even on your Facebook itself. You know, let's see. Martin Gale says, "Oh, you made me buy a harmonica. I got my harmonica right here." Let's see. All right. They're easy to learn. They're fun, you know. Sinful says, "Thanks for all the chat tonight." So, guys, we're gonna call it a night tonight. If you guys want to enjoy something fun to learn, and this is easy, you know, this is it's called a Kong Sheng harmonica. Okay, and if you guys want to learn something really easy, these are simple, and you go to harmonica.com and you can learn how to play the harmonica. For you guys that want to learn something new over here. And then the other thing that is this. This here sounds just as good as a regular guitar. It's a little bit more raw for the blues and stuff like that. But if you guys want to learn like rock and blues and stuff like that, a cigar box guitars are really cheap and they're easy to learn too. There's less strings to fool around with and less stuff. And then, like I said, these are all the different notes. Let me see if I can get the letters so you can see the letters better. I think you can see them on there. You can see all the notes, and those are all the keys of the harmonica. But C is the one you want to get. Okay, this if you guys want to learn something about harmonicas, and there's a lot of songs with a lot of harmonicas in it, and most of the time the good thing about a harmonica is usually you just play the riff. Okay, and like the Piano Man and stuff like that. There's a little bit more harmonica in there, and once you learn it just kind of stays in your head. You learn the notes, and you can play it pretty easy, and it's fun. But I just want to put that out there, guys. Joseph says, "Steve, I'll call you on Monday. No problem, man. Just call till you reach me. You can call me anywhere from 6 to 9:30. You can even try to call me earlier if I'm home. I'll answer because I don't think I'll be doing much this week." Yeah, the Indian. Dave says it's a cool looking Indian. Yeah, that's why I actually bought that one. I'm gonna get one with a Coca-Cola tin, which has a little bit of a more tin sound to it. Let's see. Philip Massey says, "Say hi to Rich and tell him to start getting some videos out." He's actually going to do his own channel, okay? And I think he's going to call it the Thai Info Channel. So I don't know if he's got the name already started or not yet. Lazy Larry Lee, great job, Dave B. Joseph Grutza. Where had Rich been? Rich is in Thailand now. He lives in Thailand. Deborah, what's a Balik buy-in box? That's what we're talking about, the LBC boxes, Deb. Dickie Spaz says, good stream tonight. Have a good one, everyone. All right, guys, I'm going to say good night now, and we'll end this stream. And God bless, guys. Take care. And we will probably be on here next week, too. I'm trying to get on here as much as I can every Saturday because everybody's coming on here, it seems like, and I don't like to let anybody down. But if I'm ever not on here, there's a good reason why I'm not on here. Okay, so just tune in like a week later and you'll catch me then. But I know we've been having a good time on here lately, and I'm starting to really enjoy it too. Z says from the Shawshank Redemption movie, that's where Andy went to start his business. That's a good movie. I remember that. Dave B going on 8 a.m. in Arizona. Let's see. Philip Massey, peace out. Thanks, guys. God bless. We will see you guys on here next week, hopefully. Take care. And thanks to our two moderators, Sinful and Michael, tonight.